the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming in. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Gary, second by Ron. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. This time we take a moment for public comment. Thank you. Consent items. Do we have a motion to approve the consent items?
Motion.
Motion made by Joe,
Second.
second by Gary. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Discussion item. Right into Mr. Bart's principal update.
I'll give you a brief update of some of the things that are happening over at the elementary school now, and a little update on what our plans are for the end of the school year. So in the board update that was sent out about a month ago, I mentioned that the Houston Elementary School had been selected to participate in Cohort 12 summer 2016 training for positive behavior interventions and supports, or PBIS. The high school is a PBIS school, and they've been a PBIS school for several years now. We at the elementary school will be trained and become a PBIS school. And PBIS is a framework or an approach for helping schools select and organize evidence-based behavioral interventions. And so with me today is one of our members of the PBIS team. We will be getting training. You've got the training dates. It is August 4th and 5th.
Yes,
And then in
November, I didn't write down the dates, but those are the ones.
November, and then
November
again
and
in
March.
March. And then we'll actually be trained some more in 2017, 2018. So we'll continue to get training, and I'll let Mrs. Gavin, our guidance counselor, tell you some of the things that PBIS does and what we'll be doing. And we'll be learning more about this in November, or August rather.
All right. I'm very excited about it. I've heard a lot about it from other schools, but we're just starting, so I don't know a lot about it other than what I've read. Basically, it's a school-wide model, so everyone is trained in this, and so therefore, it's consistent with all of the teachers, including the janitorial staff and bus drivers, teachers, paras, everyone. So we're all trained in this, so it includes proactive strategies that define, teach, and support appropriate behaviors. And it's based a lot on positive stuff. There are a lot of positive rewards for the kids, and of course they love that. So we want the kids to feel safe, and when they feel safe, they're able to learn better. So that's what we are working on. It's based on the premise that appropriate behaviors can be taught. We assume that kids know what they're supposed to do, know how they're supposed to act. But if you're ever in a school for very long, you see that that isn't always the case. So the idea is that we can teach them these things. So the fact that it's consistent promotes personal responsibility. They're responsible for what they say and do.
Yeah, and you're responsible for
We can't get kids in school. All right, so we recognize students for academic and social success through a consistent process so that everyone, has the same possibilities of rewards. First of all, it needs to be committed by everyone. Like we said, the bus drivers, the cooks, the janitors, the paras, the teachers, all the way up to the principal. So it's a commitment by everyone. We'll have monthly character traits. We think this is all, we have to develop our plan. But what we've heard from other schools, they have monthly character traits that are taught throughout the school, monthly assemblies, reward systems of different kinds, maybe quarterly rewards. So the sky's the limit, I guess, at this point in time. The team consists of 3 teachers, Brenda O'Hare, Deb Botcher, and Sarah Merkowitz. So we have older to younger. Terry Gavin is our para that's on the committee. Rick is on, and I'm on. So like Rick mentioned, we have 2 days in August, 2 in November, 2 in March, where we will be doing training. And we'll have a coach, and they will be doing extra training even beyond that, so. And I assume we will probably be training everyone else. We will see, so. That's about all I know about PBIS at this point, so. You want me to go on with the?
Go on with no name calling week.
No name calling
Wanna talk about
week.
no name calling week?
So, okay. We try to, the Casey Club, which is the Kindness and Compassion Club, made up of 5th and 6th grade kids, volunteer. Our meetings are a little sporadic depending on what's going on. We've met a lot lately just because we're planning our week, but we try to do different things just to make it kind of fun for them and interesting. They had a kindergarten Easter egg hunt after Easter, since we were off on that Thursday. But that was fun. They had eggs with stickers in them that they found, so that was fun. But this week is no name calling week. Monday we had Kindness Day where they signed a pledge that they would be nice and kind. They got a treat for that. We started out with Tim McGraw's rendition of Tim McGraw's Humble and Kind. If you're a country music fan, you know that song. There was one stanza we had to, thanks to Becky, the tech lady, that disappeared, so that was appropriate for the kids. Today was compliment day, so when they came, they all had a compliment on their locker. And they had little cards in their room they could write compliments to other people throughout the day. Tomorrow is Random Acts of Kindness Day, so whenever someone does a kind act to them, they can put a link on a chain and we'll see how long the chain gets to be. Thursday's Respect Day, we had an optional poster contest for 1st through 6th grade, so they'll be turning those in and getting a treat for that on Thursday. And Friday is going to be Sportsmanship Day. Mr. Runnigan's going to do some special things in Phi-Ed with them, and then they can wear their team shirts. We don't make it a big deal because there's a lot of other stuff going on this time of the year, but it's just kind of a fun reminder, and they usually enjoy it. And the kids get really involved in this. When we do Red Ribbon Week in the fall, that's a lot on my shoulders, but this, we had the kids do a lot more of that, so. Anyway, no name calling tonight.
But it's okay to do that.
Thank you, and we'll keep informing you as to our PBIS over at the elementary school as the year goes on, this year and next year and then the following year, and we'll keep telling you about it. It'll be a good thing. A couple of things that have happened at the elementary school this past month. We had parent conferences the first couple of weeks of March. Excellent turnout again, as always, at parent conferences. We have them now in between the first and the second quarter, and now before the report cards go out for the third quarter, so that the conferences are not based solely on this report card, this picture in time, but a deeper discussion can take place with the families about how their student is doing in school. CPI training, April 1st. Hiawatha Valley Ed District came and did a presentation on crisis prevention training. And we had 13 members from the elementary school and the high school participate in that. That was at the preschool. And this training renews their knowledge and confidence when faced with students who have behavior that is escalating. The key for crisis prevention is to catch somebody before they escalate to a problem where you have to call in, authorities or a principal or something like that. And it's work on de-escalation of, that's not a word, de-escalating the problem. So she is trained, and you are trained. And they're also trained, should it get to a point where the child is going to hurt him or herself or another child, they do have some holds that they can do through the training. So I will not have them present those at this time, however. Is that okay?
You can do it on you.
That's what I was afraid of.
We could.
Sure.
We did it to guys there, let me tell you.
Yeah,
we did.
Yes. Today I went to a Title I, Title II, Title III Minnesota Department of Education training in Rochester was today. And the funds for Title I are generated by, because we always say, okay, where do we get the Title I funds and how is that money generated? And it's the children ages 5 through 17 that are in families at poverty level. And there's a lag time between the time they calculate the amount of funding we'll be getting for Title I. And this is the federal funding that they always talk about cutting. And there's a lag time of about 2 years. So the funding we're getting for this upcoming year will have been based on numbers from 2014. You said I had a half an hour, is that right? No.
No, about 45 minutes.
45 minutes. So this, and as I'm sure you've seen in the news, that No Child Left Behind is being replaced with Every Student Succeeds. And that will start in 2017, 2018. So 2016, 2017 is a transition year. And we were pleased to hear that Minnesota is one of the 6 states that will have a reduction in federal funding. And the reduction is a good thing because it means that our economy is doing better than most states. And so because we're doing really well in the state of Minnesota, our federal funding for Every Child Succeeds is going to be reduced. Title I funds are intended to supplement rather than supplant, so it's extra things that we do with the students. And Title II funding is staff development and training, and that is going to go down by about 1/3. They're figuring, Title II funding is going to be decreased substantially. And that's for staff to help students be more successful. MCA testing in 2 weeks, and we're practicing on Thursday and Friday, just testing the system to see how well it works. We've asked that the teachers that are doing other things on their Chromebooks with their students maybe just hold off on Thursday and Friday just to see what it's like for those people that are strictly taking the MCA tests. MTSS training at HVED will be on April 15th, and MTSS is the replacement to RTI, or Response to Intervention, so we'll be getting some new training on that. And Mrs. Gavin again graciously volunteered to assist with that training, and we'll be sending about 4 people from the building, and I think one of the high school teachers will be going with us. And I won't name them because I don't think they know that they're going yet. So she will be going. That's how she found out too.
What does that stand for, MTSS?
What does it stand for?
Multi-tiered systems of supports. Oh.
I wonder if
Thank
they
you.
call it into this.
Yeah. So, and then real briefly in community education, on March 31st, I attended the meeting of the area community ed directors in Rushford, and we discussed how we can collaborate with different classes and different instructors for next year. Corinne and I completed the Pathway 2 scholarship, and I think she mentioned that in the board update, and we will be notified by the 30th of April whether we were successful or not getting the Pathway 2. Pathway 2 goes directly to the preschool or the service if it's a 4-starred program, and Houston Public Schools preschool is the only 4-star program in our district here at Houston, so the funding would come to us. That's Pathway 2. Pathway 1 scholarships are the ones that go directly to families who are the most needy families. And I just received word yesterday that the first of the scholarships that we applied for, we received those, the families will be receiving those scholarships. So everyone that we applied for, the families will be receiving. And so that will start March 21st is when the funding started, because they backdated to March 21st. It will go for 1 calendar year. So those students that are ages 3 to 5 who are not in kindergarten will get additional funding that would come from them to the school. And I think that's it. Oh,
Your
there's
schedule.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
The thing that I actually had on the top of the list. We have secured some locations for that last week of school. The following locations have been officially secured: the Houston Nature Center, Houston Community Center, Houston Preschool Upstairs, Cross of Christ Lutheran Church, and the Winona YMCA. DCD, the Kristen's group, will be going up to the YMCA, and they have full access to the YMCA. They will also have access to the pool. It's going to cost about $500 for this whole event to take place. And they'll have lifeguards at the pool for the DCD students. And she has, and forgive me, I don't remember his name, but he is from the DNR, and he will be going fishing with the students. He has the poles and everything that they will need.
I do want to add that is, all those activities are educational in nature. And so in the swimming, then it's the full body movement, but it's also, they're going to be doing educational components because it's all through some of Kristen's contacts with Special Olympics and the Special Education Division of Southeastern Minnesota.
So that was a really good connection that she made there. Teachers are making other connections. We have some grades that have already signed up to go to the Marine Art Museum, Norskadalen. There are some other field trips that are in the works. And then teachers are scheduling events throughout the community, either the library, the Owl Center, the Nature Center, and some other places that they'll be visiting. There are classes, and then there will be field day. Normally we have field day that last week of school, but we're going to have a condensed version of field day, not on our fields at the elementary school because we'll be told to stay off the fields. We'll have it in another location. And so that will be grades K through 2 will be doing it on one day, and 3 through 6 will be having a field day on another day. A lot of details still need to be worked out. As I work through those, I'll be meeting with the superintendent and getting those, and if you need to know any specific details, either contact me or the superintendent. We will be meeting this week to get a letter to go out on Friday to the parents, giving that first indication officially of the last week of school displacement and the last few days, or the first few days of June, and what will be happening there, no school. So that official word will be going out. We'll continue to keep them informed as we go. So if you have questions, give me a call, or give the superintendent a call.
And one of the last things that we have to get worked out once we know where everybody is going to be and the different days and the times for the activities and the field trips, then we can actually put together the full schedule of times each day so that we're sure that those specials with art and media and Phi-Ed and music still happen, so the teachers still get their prep time in there as they need to have. And then also those other specials get to go on as planned. But we have to figure out where everyone is first because there will be that transportation issue.
What are you doing for lunches?
Good question. I've got you down for serving on Thursday. If
Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday, I'll put that one.
And we're looking at that, once we get that schedule with the specials and all of that, then we're looking at would it make sense to have sack lunches brought to their sites? Would it make sense to include the transportation and fit them in with the lunch service here so they get their hot meal at the high school? And so right now, it's those last pieces. We had to come up with the big pieces first about where they're going to be the majority of the day, where they're going to be doing some field trips to know who is here first before we make those plans.
And the nice thing is Robin in food services has a lot of time to plan for this. She stayed remarkably calm when I mentioned some of the issues that we would be facing.
Very calm for Robin.
Yeah, for Robin. And then, all of the sites have refrigerators too, so that if we have something delivered there, we can.
So how many different sites did you have?
Right now, I have Nature Center, Community Center, Preschool Upstairs, Cross of Christ Lutheran Church, the YMCA. I'm waiting to hear back from one other location. But I told the teachers that sometime over the next week or two, we would go on a field trip during their prep time, and we'd go visit some of these sites so they can kind of get a feel for where they are at. Okay?
Anybody have any questions for Rick?
Appreciate your hard work on this.
Thank you. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be an adventure.
It will be
Yes.
an adventure, and the kids will remember this for years to come.
Right.
Yeah.
As will you.
Okay, so no other questions for the superintendent contract. I guess I'm supposed to talk about it. Negotiators met with the superintendent. We talked about a 3-year contract. I think everybody got information on it, emailed to them.
Just in the
Just-
board update.
And then, yeah, as far as overall package, I don't know if there's any specifics, we can get together and meet on each line item. As you know, when Corinne started, it was pretty low. We made some adjustments to it as far as health. We changed her medical to equal the principals with, no. what is it?
Teachers.
Teachers. with
I just
single
wanted to
rate.
have at least what the
Yeah.
teachers had.
And so we made a couple minor adjustments in that part of it. Overall package is, you see it'd be like 5.5 per year for each year for a 3-year contract. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We haven't finalized anything. If you guys want to have questions, we can go over it before we meet with her again to go any further. Any questions?
Are we planning on approving this at the next meeting?
Yeah, we have to get together with Corinne one more time before we, the negotiators have to meet with her. So if you guys have questions, we have to set up a date. Find out when you will work for you guys next week. We'll set up a time. So if you have questions, if you want to see all of it, obviously, we can do that.
The contract is marked up with the proposal, and the changes are highlighted in yellow. So if you wanted to see that, I could send that to you.
Could you send it out, and then we can all review it if
Yeah.
we have any questions?
Yeah, just give one of us a call. Moving on to old business, items for discussion and approval, we don't really have any. New business, long-term facilities, we're gonna scratch it off again. Long-term facility maintenance update.
Besides what's in the board discussion item, I found out today that the elementary water heater has to be replaced. Andy got a hold of Mike Fry today and said that the water heater is no longer working. And so Mike said he will put that in, the replacement in the contingency, so that will just get rolled into this project as one of the contingencies.
Is this an old water heater?
2005, and I said, it's 10 to 11 years old, that's not,
Doesn't seem like we just put one in.
we put a water heater in at the high school in 2014. In 2013, we purchased the water softener for the elementary building. And then that was it, right? Yep.
So is there a hope with a new water heater now that the softener is in, that it will last longer?
That's what we were told, that we needed to have the water softener because the Houston water was killing the water heater. So now the hope is that we've got the water softener, it will add to the longevity of the water heater.
Is there any rebates with the energy companies, the electric, water heating, or gas? I know a lot of times the electric company has, when I was in town, they send out that, get a deal, get electric one or something, and you can get it on one of those meter times.
I don't know that. I saw the quote for the water heater, and then that didn't include the electrical that goes with it as far as hooking it up.
So if it's electrical, a lot of times, I know when I got mine for my house, and I'm assuming they would have the same or similar for businesses, you got a discount on it if you put on one of the timers or devices that monitor it, so it's not,
Or if you
more
get the high
efficient.
efficiency one, then they give you rebate.
Yeah, mine
Just call
was.
Tri-County and
Yeah,
ask.
I'd call
I don't
and
know
check
whether
it.
it works for a business.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I
it's
don't know.
worth asking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because for mine, it was normally $800, I think it was $300, it was quite a savings.
And I know we've gotten the rebate forms on some of the lights that have been installed already, so I will just zip Mike Fry an email to see if there's some
Mhm.
rebates that we can get with it, and they're right on top of that.
Okay. Thanks.
Then April 15th, we will finally have the bids opened for the abatement. So those bids will come to you on the April 19th board agenda. And so you will get them, I will make sure that you will see them right away on Friday the 15th. And then you'll have that listing in the board packet as far as the different companies. this week, they're doing the walkthrough for the people that wanted to submit the bids. And then as soon as that is done, then when I know the dollar amount, I'm going to be applying for different grant funds to see if we can defray some of that cost.
The walkthrough is coming later this week.
Yes, yes.
Do you know when yet?
I think April 9th, if I remember correctly.
It's Saturday, right?
No.
9th?
Is-
Today's the 5th.
I don't remember when the walkthrough was. I put it in the board agenda,
Okay.
or the board update this week, last Friday. And I don't remember the day off the top of my head, I'm sorry. And then the other thing, it was brought up at, while we were doing the contract negotiation, that, possibly having a community meeting for people to really hear what's going on with the buildings, what the timelines are. There's someone from UNESCO coming yet this month. Mike's got to tell me which Monday they're going to be coming to meet with the staff at the elementary school at 3:10 to say, this is what's happening in your building, this is what you need to do in each of your classrooms, this is the process that's going to go on in each of your classrooms, so that the teachers and the staff really know what's going to be occurring to their building this summer. But then also, if that person could come that night and have that same type of community meeting. Do you think that would be well attended, or after the superintendent update came out where that was brought up, Todd did say that there were, it was several years ago now, where the superintendent went around to every area organization and basically talked to every organization about something that was going on at the school, and that was well received. I would be very willing to go and talk to every organization, like the Lions or the library group, about what's going on at the school. Do you think?
I don't
because-
think that's necessary.
Well, because we've got Education Matters, but I'm not sure how many people are actually reading that. Would they come to a community meeting?
Well, I think it's going to the organizations is one thing to let the business people and people involved, but offering a forum for parents seems to be an appropriate thing to do. I don't know how many people would come, but we've offered to communicate in a written form and personally. You can't visit every parent's home,
No.
so.
Well, and Ellen would certainly cover that, I assume, and then that would be an additional outlet for that information is through the band.
Have her come to the one during the day, and then maybe open it up in the evening for parents. I mean, like they said, I don't know how many would show up, but
So, but would
you'd
you?
hate to.
Yeah,
it-
even if nobody shows up, we at least.
Right,
Maybe
that's
that's what
just
we
the
think of
evening.
a day and an evening, or just an evening?
Well,
or-
I don't know, a lot
Well,
of parents work, I don't.
if
If they
know.
do
I
it
just
during the
think it's
day, what I was
evening.
thinking is you're gonna have your one in the day, unless they wanna do it all after, but I'm assuming the teachers wanna do it while they're in town.
Right.
So have the teacher one, and then in the evening at like 6, have the community one. And again, if like Gary said, if you let people know now it's happening, if they have an opportunity to show up, and if they don't, we at least gave them that opportunity. We don't want them to come back and say, well, we never had a chance to ask questions.
If we decided it, can you put it on the local information channel?
Oh,
I mean, I don't know how many
Library.
people look at that, but at least,
The
I
library
mean,
board, you mean, outside, or?
no,
Oh, the
the
one
ACE
on the
Communications, the
TV.
TV that just
Oh,
lists
yeah.
what's happening in town. And,
Yeah.
I mean, might be just another way to notify
mhm.
or to get the word out.
I think it'd be good to have both, that's just be my opinion. If we have the day one for the teachers and the staff, and anybody else that would like to be there during that one.
And then an
the
evening one,
for the
okay.
community at 6 o'clock.
So it might-
Between 6 or 6:30, I don't know what works best, for people.
And keeping it brief,
Yeah.
just,
Right.
you know, it doesn't have to be,
No, it's not.
unless there are questions, it's
Yeah.
just,
I'm assuming it'll probably be only about a half hour, 45
Right,
minutes.
about half an hour.
Interesting forum just to see what, if people do have other questions or
Yeah.
concerns about things, so.
I mean,
I would-
they may have had their concerns addressed already, they might.
Right.
I think the last time I can remember our superintendent going around was at the referendum.
Yeah, that's when
That's what I was thinking.
Kim went around for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think it would be just more for
Different
community.
Townships, et cetera, et cetera. I think if we could just open up the information section, it's.
Well, yeah, we're not asking, I mean, the money is not,
It's a done deal.
that's a done deal, so it's to let parents know, and the people living around the school, and parents whose kids are going to school, what's happening, right? That's the target.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So you
So-
said something with the kids home, so they know the parents don't want to come in.
And we can, I can get a hold of Mike Fry, find out when the UNESCO representative is coming to talk to the teachers, and then we can plan it for that evening, and we can get it in our letter that goes out on Friday.
What was the date you're picking?
It's a Monday in April, so I have not heard which Monday in April yet.
Oh, it did happen yesterday, so.
It didn't happen yesterday, which was a
Maybe,
Monday in
do you have
April.
anything you want to add in? Does that sound good?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of off topic, but I think it's good to go out to these community organizations, but not necessarily about this project. I mean, I think if we're going to do a strategic planning, I mean, I see different groups, like with robotics, they go to the Legion to, you know, interact, and I think it would be good for the school to really go and say, thank you for your support, what can the school do for you? You know, and and just build that relationship, but it's not really associated with the
Yeah.
building
Okay.
project. But I think it's a good thing to do, think about in the future.
Yeah,
Okay.
something we can put on.
Okay, I will do that
Anything else, Chris?
with the
The
Maintenance?
walkthrough was on April 8th, by the way,
April 8th.
according to your update.
Okay. I was a day late and $1 short, okay.
So Monday is this is all happening?
She's not,
No.
some Monday,
Some
right?
Oh, so, yeah, the walkthrough with the asbestos guys, or
Like bid people.
people.
Is that it? Okay, no old business at this time, we got new business. Discussion and approval, first quarter board pay. Get a chance to look at that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by Michael, second by Gary. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Policies for first reading. We have a short list this time, too.
And MSBA just came out with their list of updates, and it's incredibly long, but these two aren't part of that. Just with the crisis management, we're doing crisis management now so that we're sure that when we give this to the principals to write their crisis plans, they've got the updated policy to use. And then once those crisis plans come here for approval, as soon as you approve them, they automatically become addendums to this policy. That's the way the policy is written. So I just wanted to make sure everyone's clear on that, because I know sometimes you used to do this policy at the same time you did the crisis plans. And it makes more sense to have the policy first
And the plan.
and then the plans, so we're sure that the plans that are written follow the most current policy.
Anything else to add to that, Michael, on the policies? No? Okay. Okay, no questions? Move on to announcements, important events.
We have started testing, MCA testing. We started that Monday with MNVA. So far, we haven't had any Pearson meltdowns, so that's a very positive sign. We hope that it continues. We've got both a war room and a situation room this year, where people are logging in to say, John called it two different things. one while there's testing and then one after the fact to look at what happened and what went well and what didn't go well. And so during testing, it's the war room. After testing, it's a situation room. So far, it's
Working.
it's working.
Anything?
They had their PD, and they used a different site this time for their professional development. The last several times they've used the same site, and there have been continuous internet problems and internet outages, and so we moved to a different site, and it was a little more money, but the internet worked. Everyone could see because the screen was large enough. It was a very comfortable temperature. The staff was very good getting in and out the parking, and the location was much easier. And so they got a much bigger benefit from their professional development time than when they were sitting waiting for the internet to work and just feeling like they were wasting time. So even though it was a couple extra dollars, it was really worth it, and the staff really appreciated that.
Okay. Meeting and committee updates. None that I know of. Okay. Feedback? Anything else? I almost hate to say it.
Just the future agenda, you're going to get the bids on the asbestos abatement bids on the next board agenda item, and they will need to be approved right away so we can get that going.
Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. Motion by Joe, second by Ron. All in favor? Opposed? That had to be like the shortest meeting we've had.
And if Rick